Friday, I get this great email. It says, we're asking you to be the guest speaker at the Oscars. I said, honey, the other part of this thing brochure says that I'm going to meet Bradley Cooper. I'm going to L.A. Well, I looked a little closer here, and it says Cafe Milano. Which, thank you, Franco, for having me here today on that. Then I looked a little closer. It said salute to American Sniper, our friend Bradley Cooper. So maybe Bradley Cooper will be here. So all night long, until about 5 minutes ago, I've been thinking Bradley Cooper's going to walk in here. But I just saw him on TV. So there's no possible way Bradley Cooper will be here. But to all of you out here, you probably thought the same thing because you got the same message. I got the same flyer. I did not want you to be disappointed. So I brought a little bit of Bradley Cooper with me. Resemblance, right? I too started as a waiter a long time ago. Maybe I can make it as a manager.
Many of you have seen our friend Bradley Cooper in The American Sniper. I personally saw the movie 3 times. Because I always feel that I missed quite some things. The first, and with ADD, so I tried to catch up. Second and the third one. And he brought the life, the service, and the hardship of Chris Kyle to the world. We were very fortunate that after his premiere in Washington, he came back and introduced his wife, who happened to be in Washington for the premiere. And tonight we are so pleased that you are here and to cheer him on. I also wanted to mention that Laurent Menot, who's here with me, and has been with me for 21 years, am I right? 21 years. He was the one that he hired Bradley Cooper. And they actually stayed friends since then, and we've been very honored that every time that he comes to Washington, in DC, in Georgetown, he always stops by in a very, very humble way, and he just comes in and he made himself available. We have received several invitations for his great show in New York, The Elephant Man, as you all know. Now, it is a very special honor to welcome Colonel Adam Rock from the U.S. Army.
On behalf of the Chief of Staff of the Army, General Ray Odierno, it's an honor to be here. I am a special assistant to him, and I run a program to support the reintegration of our servicemen and women and their families back into the communities that you represent across America upon successful completion of tours of duty. But we're also about a mindset change across the full spectrum, a holistic approach to soldiering, that when you come in the service, you serve, you reintegrate, and you remain a soldier for life. So once a soldier, always a soldier for life, giving back. So I had the opportunity about 3 weeks ago, I think some of you were there as well, at the Got Your Six event when the First Lady came and spoke. She did a great job, and she talked about the movie, The American Sniper. Bradley Cooper was there. I didn't get to meet him either. But I was in the audience up close. I tweeted a picture of him to my wife, thinking I was going to meet him, but it didn't work. But she said some powerful things and a great message to the entertainment industry. To hold themselves accountable, to be responsible, to tell the true and accurate story. Not only the war stories, which we've seen, but the stories about families and reintegrations and the challenges that the men and women face, not only prior to 9/11, but post 9/11. Wow.
realized I could have been a waiter here and gone on to become an Oscar nominee. Instead, I became a journalist and eventually the Pentagon press secretary, so I had the great honor of working with Colonel Rock. He reminded me tonight, he was the guy who would come up to my office before I had to brief the press and get me smart so I didn't make a fool of myself, and by and large it worked. So I appreciate your support over the years.
I'm not going to use the microphone because when I'm talking to soldiers, I don't use the microphone. We don't have microphones. I use my command voice. It's where you're sitting in your living room, and you got out of the hospital. You're out of the military service now. You've been stripped of all you thought you were, and you're sitting there and you're asking, "What now?" And something, I say, by the grace of God, I don't know, who you worship or who you call out to. I called to God and he said, "Cedric, I'm not through with you yet. Get your butt up and take a step forward." And that's when I applied for dog tag. I decided that I was going to take a step forward. Didn't know where I was at the time. Wasn't in the best of places. But I decided to take that step and I signed up for dog tag. And when I signed up, I met some crazy individuals. My brothers and sisters. I was back home again. And I felt at home. We had Anton. And Anton and I, he's like my little baby brother now. We grew along the course. Anton held me accountable. And I'll tell you what it was. I got so frustrated with the course because I was outside of my comfort zone. And a lot of times we're so used to living within our comfort zone that when we get put outside of our comfort zone, it drives us crazy. It's like if you take your hands and put them together like this, it feels comfortable. Now try reversing that. Your hands instantly want to go back to doing this. So I thought about, you know what? I don't feel like I'm really growing in this course, but they're teaching me, I already learned. And it's interesting because I needed to be there, but I didn't realize that. And Anton, he goes, "Cedric, if you don't want to be in a goddamn course, drop the course." And at that moment, it was like something went off right there. And I went outside and I talked with Meg for a while. And Meg said, "Cedric, this is where you need to be at." So at the end of the course, I sat and I thought, what are we really getting from the course? And I don't know if you guys think about what you're really getting out of the course. It's not about the education. It's about the internal growth. It's about how you're growing yourself inside, where you started from, and where you're at right now. And that's the most valuable thing you could gain. You can always grow a well-structured, but then you can start looking like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If you start growing yourself inside and work on that foundation, then guess what? Your structure will grow. So this is what I took from dog tag. They helped me find my foundation. Now I feel like I could do anything. Like Meg said, "Hey, we want you to talk for a few minutes." Okay, I got it. You asked her 6 months ago, I would have said, "Why didn't you tell me like this, like years ago?" And notice I say years, because I would have had years to plan. But, I just want to say thank you to Megan. And this is my chance to say people don't realize the effort and the work that Megan put in a dog tag. She does give everyone else the credit. Got it? She does give everyone else the credit, and she won't take herself. But I just want to say thank you to her. She has become my friend. And I want to thank all of you for being here, because you guys are here for us, and we appreciate that. It shows that, guess what? We're not alone.